Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Vijaya Vallabha Girivaradhari Vijaya Vallabha Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Rajari Yamuna Tira grace of Charan and Prabhupada ki jai. Vishnupad Prasarajikacharya Stotra Sisavendra Shiva Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kota Vishnu all glories to Samad all glories to Samad all glories to Samad Shiva and Shigara Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshuron Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamavyam Dadati Shubhadantikam Andeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadvatam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Parama Sambhodina Namaste Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namaste Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shravan Sukhi Tamamani Panchakalpam Vishnuvasan Bhivacha Tamam Krishna Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kamila Divachalam Kamam Langai Tegam Kripatam Shigranataram Chapter 26 and that chapter entitled the battle between the battle between Lord Gaur and the demon interaction. If you're on a cell phone, you can see the 31820. Huh? But how can this mirror? I hope. So you want me to connect on your phone? Should I connect on Zoom? But there is connection. That's fine. What is the what is the ID?
Saturday, Sunday. Yes, bro.
Recording in progress.
So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto, third, text number 20. Daityasya yajna vayavasya maya. Daityasya yajna vayavasya maya. Grihita varahata normahatmana. Grihita varahata normahatmana. Kauravyamahyan dvishator vimardhanam. Kauravyamahyan dvishator vimardhanam. Didriksha aga drishbir vratasvarat. Didrikshuraga drishbir vratasvarat. Daityasya yajna vayavasya maya. Grihita varahata normahatmanah. Kauravyamahyam dishator vimardhanam. Didrikshuraga drishbir vratasvarat. Daityasya of the demon, Yajna Avayavasya of the personality of Godhead, of whose body Yajna is a part. Maya, through his potency, Grihita was assumed. Varaha, half a boar, Tanoh, whose form, Mahatmanaha, of the Supreme Lord, Kauravya, O Vidura, descendant of Kuru, Mahyam, for the sake of the world. This is the of the two enemies, Vimardhanam, the fight, Didrukshuhu, desirous to see, Agat, came, Rishivihi, by the sages, Ratha, accompanied, Swarat, Brahma. Translation: O descendant of Kuru, Brahma, the most independent demigod of the universe, accompanied by his followers, came to see the terrible fight for the sake of the world between the demon and the personality of Godhead, who is appeared in the form of a boar. Purport. The fight between the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the demon is compared to a fight between bulls for the sake of a cow. The Earth planet is also called Go or cow. As bulls fight between themselves to ascertain who will have the union with the cow, there is always a constant fight between the demons and the Supreme Lord, or his representative for supremacy over the earth. Here the Lord is significantly described as Yajñavayava. One should not consider the Lord to have the body of an ordinary boar. He can assume any form. He possesses all such forms eternally. It is from him that all other forms have emanated. This boar form is not to be considered the form of an ordinary hog. His body is actually full of yajna, or worshipful offerings. Yajna, sacrifices are offered to Vishnu. Yajna means the body of Vishnu. His body is not material, therefore he should not be taken to be an ordinary boar. Brahma is described in this verse as Swarat. Actually, full independence is exclusive to the Lord himself. But as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, every living entity has a minute quantity of independence. Each and every one of the living entities within this universe has this minute independence. But Brahma, being the chief of all living entities, has a greater potential of independence than any other. He is a representative of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and has been assigned to preside over universal affairs. All other demigods work for him. Therefore, he is described here as Swarat. He is always accompanied by great sages and transcendentalists, all of whom came to see the bullfight between the demon and the Lord. I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. Just because I'm asked to speak, I'm repeating whatever I heard in the past. Cut and paste. I need everyone's lessons. So, this is Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pamartam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is actually Amalam Puranam. It speaks only of the Prema, love of God. Other four Purusharthas are not described there. They're not discussed. You know, they may be here and there, but leading to Prema only. So that's why this is the religion of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Matamidam. Or Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to propagate that Raga Bhakti and the spontaneous attachment, So Lord Chaitanya expected the same thing from his followers. And not that he came to this world by accident, with miscalculation. He knew Kali Yuga is the very difficult age. One time I asked Varsana Maharaj, why Lord Chaitanya Maharaj, this philosophy is actually fit to be followed by people of Satyuga. Kali Yuga people are so much of they're tormented by lust and greed and envy and anger. Then why this much is there? You're always, after this many years, I'm still struggling And why Krishna has given, why Lord Chaitanya has given this process? Maharaj said the best solution for lust is love. So the best cure for, that's the word he used, cure. For lust is love. So then it's totally, because you always need a higher engagement, then only you'll give up the lower propensities. That's what he said. So you try your best to continue. So Narad Muni was told by the Supreme Lord in that secluded place, try your best. People who are attached to the temporary material pleasures of this world cannot see me. Actually, that line, people who are attached to the temporary material pleasures of this world, they cannot see me. I'm revealing myself to you just to increase your attachment for me. People who are attached to the temporary material pleasures means what? Many times I told myself, forget about the subtle pleasures of adoration, profit, distinction. We are attached to the gross pleasures, Hare Krishna. So I can never say Krishna. According to Bhagavatam, yes. But Lord Chaitanya intervenes. Nityananda Prabhu intervenes. Srila Prabhupada as their representative intervenes. And causeless mercy. What is mercy? Causeless. So, one has to be very sincere. Jesus Christ said, be cold or hot, don't be lukewarm. Cold, don't come here. Just, pursue seriously material life. All this. One CEO told me, 90 is, just to touch a billion figure is very difficult. If you have touched a billion figure means you're like an icon in America. But he said today everyone touches trillion because the value, and there is so much of inflation, so many papers are coming out into existence. It's a trillion, not trillion. So, but the quality of life has degraded like anything, So everything in terms of the paper money, $1 trillion. So today, what is Kali Yuga? The finer qualities will disappear. What is Kali Yuga? The finer qualities will disappear. Not that the devotees are excluded from that. This is only for non-devotees. No. What is Kali Yuga? The finer good qualities. One temple president told me, a Westerner, European, when relatives come to my home, my mother would take out all the best things of my home and give it to them. And I would think, wow, I don't even know they are there. Until that point of time, I thought that there was only hospitality in India. I said, no. Europe was, we are very, there is so much hospitality, he said. So today, what is it? Just a superficial. So when hypocrisy creeps into religion, then problem is we see what happens in Christianity. People go to churches just to play bingo and pastor presents showing the Kumbh Mela 3 crore Indians. So they don't know Jesus and they're going to hell. So give money. People will give money because people have money. And Krishna knows what happens later. If one person focuses on pure bhakti, that's right, it all starts with ideals. What is your ideal? Why Jesus Christ is telling be lukewarm? I mean, be cold or hot, but don't be lukewarm. No? I have not started the verse.
What are the two deadly enemies for spiritual life? Lethargy, laziness. I want to become, self-realization. I want to, not Kalparuksha, not the servant of Krishna, Rakta Chitrapadra, only Gopi only. What about sadhana? No sadhana, don't ask. It is hypocrisy. And if a person gets power, that is the worst thing in the world. A person who is very loose in sadhana, very lax in sadhana, and if he gets a position, you cannot unseat him. Today it is very easy to give service, but when you want to take the service, Krishna, especially if the service is endowed with position, it will create battle. That is not bhakti. Bhakti means ahetikya pratyadaya atma suprasidhati. My Session Prabhu said, I don't want to become a big devotee, I want to be a sincere devotee. You want to know the greatness of this? One day my temple president told me, preaching to the choir, I said, I don't know. How many of you know the word preaching to the choir? Yeah, okay, Prabhuji knows. This pastor Sunday feast, you all should come every week. And he tells all the things. Who is sitting there? The choir of musicians. So they're waiting for money, otherwise they would have left long ago. There is nobody sitting. And then at the end he says, now the lecture is over, he'll give money, they'll leave. So we are supposed to listen, they don't come. One should have a sincere desire to make progress. Desire before you desire, one person told me one time. I was getting Brahmin initiation because people were, the temple is going to open soon. Everybody. Yes. Bhakti Swami said one time, Prabhupada would give Brahmin initiation only for 3-4 people who are interested in bhakti. Deity worship. Bhakti Swami said, nowadays everyone, what is the mentality? Something extra, lelo. That way, I think I may be closer to Krishna. Definitely not. One person said, I don't want Brahmin initiation. I said, why? I'm not qualified. In my heart, I realized you are the only one qualified. One person told Radhana Swami, Maharaj, you're giving Brahmin tomorrow. I don't have these qualities. Maharaj said, Prabhu, I'm not giving you because you have qualification. I am giving you with the hope you'll cultivate these qualities. If all the people of Farmington Hills, if they are not willing to cultivate those qualities, unfortunately, one country in the world, I think it is, what is that? There is a recall process, Switzerland. Not like India, once you're elected, next 5 years, you'll continue. Or not like America. So every year you can be recalled. The moment if you don't uphold the principles of your what is the state rep, ML or MP, whatever, you'll be recalled. But it's not there in ISKCON. One time Gaur Maharaj told 2 disciples, take out your Kantimala, I'm no longer your guru. Then for what? Initiation is not just to come stand in the first lines to offer Tulsi Aarti, little water, or Brahmin initiation is not to go on the altar and touch the feet of Krishna. Actually, I asked one time, Jay Sachin Prabhu, can you take Brahmin initiation? He said, I'm still working. Means what? Brahmana doesn't work for anybody. Wow. So it doesn't mean some people who are not working are Brahmins anyway. Samadhamasta Vakshantinarjame Jnanam Vijnanam Astakyam Brahma Karma Swabhaja. The qualities are given in Bhagavad Gita. Peaceful, sense control, tapa, tapasya, austerity, shanti, tolerance, arjam, honesty, jnanam, theoretical knowledge. Read Prabhupada books every day. Vijnanam, realize knowledge. How do you translate jnanam into vijnanam? Tapasya, austerity. Brahma karma is situated on the platform of Krishna, Brahman, Parabrahman, that supreme consciousness. Those are the qualities of Brahmana. When somebody focuses on externals, internals will dilute. So anyway, so what is that? So it's a battle. Battle between Hiranyaksha and the Supreme Lord Varaha. One day, I know this Varaha came to my mind actually. I was in Mayapur for 2 months, 2 years ago. I said, boar incarnation. Because Indian accent, I said, what? They're all, except me, everyone is actually in a Westerner. And one day what he said, he's talking about Varaha, Westerner. I said, wow, all glories to you. So anyway, Gaganam Gagana Gagakaram Sagaram Sagaropamam Rama Ravana Yuddham Rama Ravana Yoriva. There is no comparison to ocean. There is no comparison to sky. There is nobody equal to sky in size. There is nobody equal to the ocean. Likewise, there is no parallel between Ram and Ravan, the battle between Ram and Ravan. Because that battle itself has no parallels. Likewise, here, Hiranyaksha and boar, it's a very fierce battle. So Krishna, Radha, so there's a battle. Prabhupada is actually, that Mayavad conception people are filled with. So Prabhupada is telling he is not an ordinary boar. And Prabhupada is giving an explanation. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam. Advaitam. Achyutam, no fall down. There is non-dual. Is the beginning of everything. Anantarupam, he has unlimited forms. Adyam, Purana Purusham, Navayavanam cha, all the contradictions, He's the cause of everything, he's the source of everything, he's the oldest, but he's the youngest, he's ever fresh, youthful. Navayavanam. That is Krishna. It doesn't matter whichever form appears, that form is a transcendental. So what is a demon? Demon means position, power. Why position? Power means control. You buy a car and it is used by 4 of your brothers, with 4 of your brothers. You don't claim proprietorship for it. Why? When you go outside, many times you don't find the car there. Do you claim it? No. So proprietorship means control. So control on the resources. When somebody finds happiness in externals, they can never find happiness in the internals, internal qualities. Narsingh Chaturthi is coming. Bahirardhamanina. Natemitu Smarthagatim hi Vishnu. If your goal is not Krishna, you'll be naturally attracted to the external money, Vairartha. Then what happens? Andha, blind. Andha yatha andhaya. Viyanmana. So, Viyamana, tepi shatantra urdam nimadda. So the person, for somebody whose goal is not Krishna, there will be 100 excuses why you don't come to the temple. There will be 100 excuses why you just superficially tu. In my childhood, I used to recite, you name it, I used to recite all the stotras. I would start from taking bath only. Why? I don't want to spend so much time in standing there. You know? Finish everything in 15 minutes. But such a person sitting and chanting Hare Krishna mantra, wow, so difficult. But all Srila Prabhupada, what is Kali Yuga? Raju and Tamu. What is laziness? Tamugun. What is complacency? Complacency means though the three modes are there, prominence is Raju. Main itna hi kar sakta. I cannot do because I have so many things to do. This only bhakti, I realize the importance of it. Itna hi kar sakta. That's a donor mentality. So small things here and there, you'll become upset. You know? So, what is that? Hiranyaksha, Hiranya means gold. Aksha, his eyes are always gold, where sense enjoyment. That is sense enjoyment. Why are we continuing the cycle of what makes us continue the cycle of birth and death? Sense enjoyment. You know? To the extent we are, initially in Krishna consciousness, what is the beauty of Lord Chaitanya's movement? This everything is camouflaged and in the garb of sense enjoyment. Prasad, take it. Kirtan, take it. You can make money. You got this idli, pizza, pasta, no problem. Haribol. One day you will come. Eventually. So in that because it's prasad, your heart will change. And such a wonderful music, kirtan, jump and dance. Put in the same kirtan, spirituality is infused. We all had experience of Ram Rai Prabhu's kirtan. So and then you're touched by it. When you like it, then you'll do it. When you don't like it, you'll not do it, however great it is. Even Krishna comes and tells you, put your finger in the fire for 1 hour, you'll go back to Godhead. What you will say? Definitely not. You want me to put my finger in the fire for 1 hour and the rest of the eternity, no suffering? Sorry. That unfortunately we have that independence. Yes or no? So one devotee one person was asked, what do you like in Bhagavad Gita? Which verse? Karishye vatanita. So no, what is that? Do whatever you want to do. Yatechisi tadakuru. That I like it. Not Karishye vachanantava. Which verse you like it? Yatechisi tadakuru. Now Arjuna, now I told you what I am supposed to tell you. Now you do whatever you want to do. Yatechisi tadakuru. But Prabhupada says, though Krishna, we have that independence. Krishna doesn't want to reject that independence. Yatechisi tadakuru. But Prabhupada says, Arjuna, utilize that independence in Krishna's service, that's why he is glorified. Swarat, Brahma is called Swarat. That is our disease. First Bhagavad Gita, first verse of Bhagavatam, Abhijna Swarat, Supreme Lord is fully cognizant and a Swarat, supremely independent. But unfortunately, because we are 10 power minus 4 tip of the hair, we also have that independence. In Kali Yuga, that 10 power tip of the hair, but we compare ourselves to Krishna's independence. Wow. One day, one Prabhu and actually we were talking, father and I were talking. Actually, I can never forget this. First time in my life I realized Kali Yuga has changed this much. So we did not realize the 3-year-old child, what he was doing. And he did something wrong. His father, he spoke, he told only one line. And there is no scolding in that, but there is a mildest rebuke. This person, this 3-year-old child understood that rebuke. But chastise is a big word. Rebuking is like mild correction. Hare Krishna. He started his singing of crying. First he went underneath the chair. He went under a chair. How can I show my face to Yugal Kishore? Thus, you have put me so down before him. It's only 3-year-old. You have diluted my reputation. You have ruined my reputation before him. He cried until they left. First time I made a sankalpa to change in my life. I'm trying to correct left and right, giving left and right to, Shyam. I think Shyam Kishore is pure devotee then. If they, this small correction, somebody is going underneath the chair, he didn't show his face to me. My father is upset, has ruined my reputation. How can I show my face to you? World has changed this much, I thought. You serve somebody for 10 years, 11th year you say one line, relation is broken. I have an idea of what happens outside. No. This independence today is gone. What is that? All the festivals. Oh, you're chanting. How is your chanting? I recite nursing couch. You cannot say anything because Vishnu Tattva. Ours is Raga Bhakti. What is that? My daughter name is not Raga. So because people don't read, people don't forget about reading. They don't want to hear. But Guru Maharaj, tears will be flowing from my eyes. Guru Maharaj. This Guru Maharaj will not come and correct you tomorrow, Prabhu. Guru Maharaj also feels so sad because he cannot correct. One time Govind Prabhu said, there are gurus in ISKCON, many gurus. Why have initiated this guy? One should not be like that. I request everyone listening to this call, pray that my guru should not think about me like that, wherever he is. That is not bhakti. So very important is not how many shlokas we know, how nicely we sing, or what is that, how many YouTube hits I have. That is not. Some said there, Haritoshanam. Is Krishna happy? Yes. If not, no. Many times, like a parrot, I recited this verse from Nectar of Death. Yeah. I also teach Nectar. You are doing, I'll also do it. Jayadvaita Maharaj told me, in ISKCON nowadays, everyone wants to become gurus. Why you are getting respect? I should also become that. So, Shraddha Sabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudruda Nishay. Like a parrot, I recited 100 times. Every time, of course, you can learn better when you teach. Teacher is one lesson ahead of the student. That's it. Because students are not so interested, they don't question teacher anyway. But recently, what is that? Sarva karma krita hoy. Krishna consciousness, it gives chanting of Krishna's holy name, everything is embedded. Not everything means everything. Haridas Thakur just chanted the holy name, attain the perfection of God. Lord Chaitanya is crying. He took the chadar out and he threw it. His mind was totally baffled and bewildered. He doesn't know what he is speaking. That much he was affected. Haridas Thakur is the crest jewel of this world. This world divide of the jewel has no value, has lost its value. Just chanted the holy. I mean, Prabhupada says, Haridas Thakur can do, we cannot do that. So Prabhupada, because our minds, everyone has this ADHD, attention deficit problem. He has given Mangalarti, then Guru Puja, then Tulsi Nursing Arti, then Guru Puja, then chanting, then Guru Puja. So I'm telling. Basically, there's a whole morning program. Don't go there, Haribol. But when it comes initiation, I want. For what? If you don't give, I will not come and do service. Gordon, there is a song, Arati, every day I would listen to it, actually, The Gordon morning, 6 o'clock, they would start. No, that's not bhakti. Bhakti means sincerity. Do you want it? I don't want it. No. Only one class I'll attend. Sunday feast I'll not attend. No problem. You are doing service, right? Anything you tell me, I'll not come into the. See, it's a bhakti. Huh? What is that? I'm there. No, I'm fully there. Why? No, when my video is on, they can see me. But I don't. Swarat, what Swarat? Yes, we have impurities in our heart. I have, honestly speaking, like a dog, I'm sitting here. But sincerity, where can I go? I thought. If people come to know my impurities, they will not even look at me. So you want me to leave? Where will I go? I love to do this. Bhakti Jan Maharaj said, even if you take 100, it takes 100 lifetimes, where will we go? Krishna, continue Krishna's consciousness. So do you think Krishna will reject you? No. If the child passes stool, mother will never say no to the child. Mother loves the child, whether with the stool or without stool. That is mother. So Brahma came to witness the whole thing, just to give an audience, to encourage the Supreme Lord. So we should have a strong faith. The Krishna consciousness is everything, and our real suratness is our independence is declaring dependence on Krishna. No, my Lord, I am yours. Many times I was thinking, please listen carefully. A day will come, I lie down on the bed, I will not have the voice. So how will I chant that time? I lost my voice for 6 months one time. And I would chant in the mind. This is 2006 actually. Because I was not used to it, I'll fall asleep actually. So, because no voice. So, but recently, I was thinking after 16 years, this will come. So probably I should practice this at least, what are the 3 types of chanting? Vachik, Upamsa, Manas. So at least I should practice and watch, Upamsa, It's good, So that time, hopefully, if things like Alzheimer's don't come, probably I'll remember Krishna, at least I'll remember to chant, at least as long as I'm in consciousness. Time is running out for everyone. So Did we cross Anadnivritti to Nishta? Or, so Anadnivritti also, the mind is still giving so much trouble or little less trouble. So 1999, I attended Vyasa Puja of Jayapataka Maharaj. This Prabhu, Malaysian temple president, he passed away now. It passed away in 2008 actually. He said, Maharaj, the only problem in ISKCON, we don't chant, people don't chant quality rounds. People don't chant sincere rounds. Mahatma Prabhu said, what is that? Inattention. He mentioned 20 reasons, 20 ways of inattentive chanting. Today ISKCON 99% stays outside. See, in other words, that 2 or 3 people, ISKCON doesn't stay on them and doesn't depend on them, people who live in the temple. Adikeshwar temple, the Lord Chaitanya retreat, Brahma Samhita, we went there one time. Only 3 people, such a huge, a million-mile tower, like high tower. Million means like, I'm just exaggerating. It's a big, huge dome. Only 3 people. Youngest is one man, 30-year-old, I think son, and wife and husband. Father is 82, mother is 78. Nobody else in the temple. Why they don't preach? But ISKCON, of course, there is some preaching. Anyway, my point is, Shraddha Sabda Viswasa, Kaya Sudhrada Nishchay. By taking up, chanting the holy name, by taking up Krishna consciousness, everything is embedded, Everything is embedded means what? What is Shraddha? Trust in scripture. What is pure faith? Trust in bhakti. Distinct taste in bhakti. And increased strength to practice bhakti. What is really Krishna's grace? Krishna's grace is not a green card or giving you some, economic development. Real bhakti means tomorrow, yes, I want to chant my rounds with redoubled enthusiasm. Yes, I want to do this. There may be, modes may be very prevalent. That's okay. That is bhakti. At least I call sincerity, So, by performing bhakti to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. That is the meaning of that verse I said. Shraddha Sabda Viswasa, Kahe Sudhrada Nishchay. Means what? Full faith on the holy name. This will take me, this will give me perfection. Full faith on spiritual master. He will take me, he'll award me perfection. Full faith on Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will give me, Krishna will definitely, he will show his mercy on me. And full faith on Shastra. That is Shraddha. I'm sorry. No. I want to speak so many, but it's already late. Any question or comments? I'm very pleased. Please do forgive me if I've spoken anything wrong. This is the only place sometimes I can speak out because it is general. I don't hear when I sit here. Usually I don't speak like that, but I should speak it out. Otherwise, I'm a hypocrite. Recently, I told somebody, if I don't tell you what is in my heart and speak you very horrible, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite to you. And I told him. So this is generic. Whatever statements I made, it is not targeted to anybody. But I want everyone to practice sincere bhakti, as Vaishya Prabhu made a statement. I don't want to be a great devotee, but I want to be a sincere devotee. So let us consciously look for the impurities in our heart and thoroughly cleanse them. We only know them. That is Lord Chaitanya's Gundicha Marjana. He cleaned first time, second time he also cleaned. Because the second time he removed the finer grass, finer dust. Then he washed. Any question or comments? Otherwise, we'll end it.
they asked us, actually, we have a lot of by cultivating faith on the Lord, we don't go towards that dependence on the Lord. I think Brahmanas, they are completely dependent on the Lord. They don't consider all these things. But practicing bhakti with all these conditions, how will we make the dependency on the Lord, not all these things? Even though we have a Lord, we have to do all these things that are not. But still, we have to continue to depend on the Lord. I first initiated Brahmanism from your education. You were not a Brahmin. It's very difficult to practice so many things. We don't have that. Even though we cannot work, but still that until we get that dependence, we from this. How we balance it? Like the one kind of having the responsibilities, keeping the backup and whatever it is for the family at the same time, ultimately keep whatever we say. Right? We cannot have control on whatever we say in the water. How we cultivate that? It's not that our endeavors we have this right. If we allow, we can practice. How we can.
So you are telling, if I understand correctly, we have faith on 401k and all these things. Brahmana means it should depend only on Krishna. How do we practice that in the material world? To simplify whatever you said, right? Or anything else? Actually, declaring dependence on Krishna is one of the qualities of surrender. You know, but Brahmana means the qualities are mentioned in Srimad and Bhagavad Gita. You know, these are the qualities we need to, cultivate. Then, then you practice bhakti, eventually you'll become a Vaishnava, then eventually you'll surrender. Anyway, if you want to, sama means peaceful, dhamma means sense control, tapa means austerity, shanti means tolerance, arja means honesty. Read books and acquire knowledge. Then do tapasya for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, then what happens? Krishna will give you the realization, then it will become vijnana. First you practice these qualities. These are the qualities of Brahmana. When you practice these qualities, then surrender is actually next level. Means full dependence on Krishna. It isn't, if you really ask me, I'm not just Brahmin initiated, I'm also doing full time. So if you ask me, do you depend on your internal strength or you depend on Krishna? I really do not know. I have to really, after the class, I have to check myself. So full dependence on Krishna is one of the qualities of surrender. It is not exactly part of quote unquote Brahmana. It is actually qualities of a Vaishnava. Surrendered Vaishnava, not just Vaishnava. Vaishnava means accept Krishna as Supreme Lord. So, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But first you cultivate these qualities, then practice bhakti and practice the qualities of surrender. What are the qualities of surrender? Anukulyasya sankalpa. Accept whatever is favorable for Krishna and reject what is unfavorable. Then the third one, if you first these two things will come, then Krishna will rakshati jati vishwas. Krishna is my protector. Krishna is my maintainer. But for the middle two to happen, first two accept what is favorable, reject what is unfavorable. The last two, even more important. The body, mind and soul work for Krishna. And the last one is humility. Atma nikshepa karpan. With this, if you do the last two and first two, Sorry, the last two and first two, middle two will come. Accept whatever is favorable for Krishna, reject what is not favorable for bhakti. And work for Krishna, body, mind, and soul with humility. I'm honest with you, one day, Krishna will give you that realization, I am your protector, I am your maintainer. Okay? Next. Any other question? Yes, please. Hmm. Nice question. Is there any way, actually, why I said this is, for example, in the material world, today I became first programmer, team lead, manager, like this, externals are given importance. But here, for example, what is our when we bring the same package here, same baggage here, what is internals? Another nirvati, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema, sai bhava, prema. But instead, what is that? I become a commander now. Now I become a temple president now. Now I become a GVC. If your focus is external, there won't be internals. But now I'll tell you the two things. Rupa Goswami, what a scholar. He embedded everything in these 2 lines. Do whatever is favorable for Krishna, reject whatever is not favorable for Krishna. Then you can maintain internals and externals. You take it as it is when it comes. And if you really ask me, focus on internals, externals will eventually come. And when you come, you'll take it. Recently in ISKCON, they made this statement. Come. You don't feel, actually, even when externals come, you don't feel that as a burden. You'll shoulder it because you're not attached to it. But if you're attached to externals without focusing on internals, you'll create trouble. So one time, sannyas, people had to apply. Prahlad Maharaj said, he said that should be removed. We choose who are qualified. No, you apply, then we review it after why it's not, it's 5 years it's over, why it's not given. No. That is actually, it's seriously being considered now. It should not be applied. It has to be chosen. That is what is being discussed, I heard, in the higher levels. So who should take the position? The person who is not attached to the position. Otherwise, one lecture I heard, even brahmachari is made temple president. After some time, he'll start behaving like a temple president. That will become the second nature. When Nahusha was picked up from earth, Nahusha was very humble, falling at everyone's feet. But it's the same Nahusha after some years. When I have become Indra, I should have Sachi next to me. So now Indra is not there, bring Mother Sachi to me. So if we are not, if there is no depth inside, people will end with externals and it will bring problems. That's why one should focus only on internals actually. Then only they are not so much attached to externals. Even if it comes, they will do it in a nice way. They'll do it in a nice way. What is internals in marriage life? A is a spirit soul, B is a spirit soul. Okay, this is in a situation where we'll keep Krishna in the center and let us progress together in this eternity, in the 67, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. That is internal. When that is forgotten, then the problem will come in externals. If the problem is in the principle, details you'll see the problem in details. That's what I can tell. Any other question?
It said, golden book, 10,000 years. So are we currently the golden book or currently the golden?
Mayapur, they speak again and again, and practically more or less they touch this topic maybe 3-4 times a week. Actually, we are already this is actually in a golden yuga. Lord Chaitanya's, so what is that? If the influence is there, can you imagine Tulsi Gabbard contesting as a primary contestant for American president? Then somebody will ask, well, who are you? Everything in there, ISKCON will come in the, whole world will come to ISKCON. Can you believe that? It will happen. Okay, Prabhupada created revolution and left, that's a different thing. But can you believe a whole world will come to know about ISKCON? Just by this one lady? Great, right? So one temple president told me, he made a nice point actually. Recently also they put in the back to Godhead. ISKCON may not be like Google has few billion followers. Google has 2 billion followers actually. Google, they have 2 billion data equal to Christianity, and the Christianity numbers are going and Google numbers are going up in their, whatever the data they are collecting. So we are not like that. Frankly speaking, our presence is hardly felt. So one Westerner told, even though ISKCON's presence is hardly felt, but whatever the founder Acharya, what are the seeds he sowed, they are literally like huge big trees. What are vrukshas? Vegetarianism. This Badrinaran Maharaj says this. When they were distributing books, then he used the word vegetarianism. Which party? We know Democrats and Republicans, but we never heard this party, vegetarianism. Americans never heard the word vegetarianism. Today, America is one of the leading countries for vegetarianism. So vegetarianism is a fashion in America, veganism and vegetarianism. And yoga was in practical never heard until Prabhupada came to, Today, America is one of the champions for yoga and meditation. Not just America, all over the world. Because America is doing Indians imitate anyway. So the ISKCON, the numbers may not be great, but the influence of ISKCON on the world is great. This American, who is actually not ISKCON, he said this. So the ideals were very much adopted by the people and they're followed by people actually. That is good. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya went to Alalnad and started dancing. I forgot that verse, or that Sancha Nama Kirtana Deki Nityananda. I said Kirtana Grame. There will be groups everywhere and Kirtan will happen everywhere. So this Lord Nityananda Prabhu predicted that. So we have like 850 temples all over the world. One time Srila Prabhupada was giving lecture. Nobody wants this. No one wants this. Who wants to chant 2 hours every day? But we are making progress. We are expanding. And Prabhupada lifted his head. Everyone was sleeping. Except for 3-4 people listening. Everyone was sleeping. Prabhupada said that's a fact. So, still we are that is Lord Chaitanya's inconceivable mercy. There are so many, actually, one day I forwarded, you should have that video on my phone. Somewhere in Europe, the church Sunday feast, what are they singing? Hare Krishna mantra. Can you believe? At the church, Sunday, there is Sunday Mass. How is it? Bring my phone and I can show you. So they're singing just Hare Krishna because this is very attractive. Sing. Wow. So it's working. Yeah, we are golden yuga. So groups. Stay in the process, stay sincerely, you'll go back to Godhead. You'll get Lord Chaitanya's grace. Actually, Ram Rai Prabhu was telling, they were going in Mauritius with a group of people. Lord Prabhupada was going, one drunkard, a few drunkards. He started mocking at them. And Ram Rai Prabhu, Prabhupada, Brahmananda Prabhu said, Prabhupada, they're mocking at a pure devotee, you're pure. So they'll go to hell, Prabhupada. They chanted Hare Krishna, they'll go back to God. They're liberated. Sanketyam parihasam va stopam helanameva. So these 4 levels, you mock at somebody, you deride them, you condemn them. Because you have chanted Hare Krishna, you're liberated. Hare Krishna. Okay. Last question. We'll end it now. Enthusiasm. So question is, lust opposite, love is the opposite word to lust. Then what is the opposite to lethargy? Enthusiasm. Should I give, and stay with people who are enthusiastic. I can never forget this example. You want to hear? One time, Janmashtami, we took prasad at 1:45. Can you imagine how old you fasted? Now you're taking prasad at 1:45. Means you Mangalarti Prabhupada appearance, but you cannot make it. I went and slept in my room. There were 14 people sleeping on the ground. This boy, Sudhir Prabhu, 4:30, put an alarm, rang. You ate at 1:45 and time is 4:30. Will you get up? In half an hour, Mangalarti, I opened my eyes. This guy was offering prayers. And like an arrow, he darted, zoop, he went to the brahmachari, he went to the bathroom. This guy is not even initiated and he is going to Mangalarti. I don't want him to come back and wear dhoti and leave. Sometimes falsity is very good in this type of areas. No, I don't want to. I got up. I pulled myself up and I went to the bathroom and returned to Mangalarti actually. So enthusiasm. Stay with somebody who is enthusiastic. Otherwise, the modes will pull you down. Kali Yuga means Rajo, prominent. And now it's Tamo is taking over, actually, Rajo. Okay? Pushpanjali, actually, class ended, but somebody asked in the call, so we can take prasad. That you want to hear, you can hear. Pushpanjali Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I think you answered right now, but I was just asking, how do we get the strength to overcome our weaknesses and anarthas?
First thing is Sambandha Jnanam. Actually, I want to speak on that Shraddha, but the time was over. So how to pick up Shraddha? Sambandha Jnana. So without Sambandha Jnana, you cannot get rid of the impurities. You need to be convinced you're a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you're cleansed, if you do sadhana, one day you'll come to Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, you'll attain Prema and you'll attain the love of God. So stay with people who are enthusiastic. Stay with people who have Sambandha Jnana. Stay with people who are actually acting on the Sambandha Jnana. Then you'll overcome the weaknesses.
Okay,
I'll do it. We know our
Prabhuji.
weaknesses. First thing is, you have weakness, never go into the gray areas. Then you'll be succumbed, like for example, you have sweets problem, never go and distribute sweets to people. You'll eat it. Whichever problems you have, don't go to the gray areas. And eventually you'll be all right. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.